Hi, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your April 16th to the 30th, 2023 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see the energy we need to be mindful of during this time here, Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. So it's the Seven of Swords reversed. There's some sort of, it's like a lie, but it doesn't have to necessarily be a lie. It's like a miscommunication or something that gets like lost in the mail or something like that, that is going to be going on here. And it's like, oh my gosh, if I would have known this, if I would have had that piece of information sooner, and we're kind of really, yeah, hung up, but that's not the right word. It's like it's thrown us for a bit of a loop. So being aware of that is going to be very important during this time, that we're kind of, we're thrown a curveball and we're handling it as best we can. So let's see what spirit has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Here we have breathe reversed. Yeah, that's exactly it. We need to take a nice deep breath in and we need to let it out. And we need to remember to do that. It's kind of like when you get really stressed, you hold your breath, or you just kind of like grind your teeth or something. It's like, it's something to do with like the closing of the mouth. It's like you're swallowing your words, you're holding things back. It can't even be like, I'm going to keep the peace, right? I'm going to make everything really great for everybody else. And it's okay if I'm not that happy. So just remember, take time to breathe, to settle into your breath, to smile, just to smile to yourself and embrace peace, embrace love, embrace gratitude. I know that sounds so cheesy when we're going through really difficult times. It's like, okay, well, what can I be thankful for? And sometimes there's just, it feels like we're out to sea. You know, there's just this wave that washes over us and we feel like we can't even have a normal or have a beautiful or have a peaceful. So here, being able to do something like focus on the breath, which is so small and yet so powerful, can be astoundingly liberating for us. Even though it seems really cheesy, okay? Let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Okay, so things are changing and it's moving you to the Knight of Pentacles. So there's some sense of things are changing, right? And it's bringing more stability even though it doesn't necessarily feel that way, okay, at the time. Also there's a sense of, you might have been really focused on rules and this is the way it has to be and this is exactly how it has to be done, and spirit is kind of like, it's kind of like messing up your hair or doing something wild. Not too wild. I'm not saying like to hurt yourself or anything like that, but it's just like, it's time to be a little bit more free. And that's going to be a very beautiful thing for you. With the King of Cups reversed, this could be a disconnect with a water sign energy, a Pisces, a Scorpio, a Cancer. But I also see here, it's like you don't want to be ruled by your heart. Now, that's the thing with Libras. We are air sign energy, fine, right? But we're also very emotional energy. So we kind of sometimes see ourselves almost as water sign energy too. Being aware of that is going to be very important, where there's a sense of I'm not going to be ruled by my heart, but I am going to be ruled by what I want to be do and how I want to do it. It's not like I'm keeping myself to this really tight schedule. But if we try to walk away from our heart, we walk away from a very powerful part of ourselves and a very powerful tool for ourselves. With judgment reversed, our world isn't about like opening things up and going out and being in the center of everything. It's smaller. It's it's steadier. It's a little bit more like, okay, well, I'm going to look at this world. I'm going to look at this right now. And it might feel like, okay, I'm taking a step backwards, but you're not really. You're really focusing on you. And that's going to be a really great thing. With the two of pentacles, there's a lot that you're juggling, and there's a lot that you have been juggling. There's a sense here of, do I want to continue this? Like, do I want to be doing this? Is this the way I want to move forward? How is it that I want to be? Where is it that I want to be? What is it that I want to do? And you're looking at everything that you've been juggling, and there's almost a sense of, well, can I do something different? Can I do something else? I heard that a juggler can juggle like 14 or 15 balls, like max. It's just the size of a human hand. It depends on how many balls you can juggle and everything like that. And I'm just seeing here, like you've been juggling too much. I know we're talking about two here, but you've been juggling too much for too long. And there's this sense of, well, what if I stopped juggling? Like, what if I just stopped and I just looked at me? I just looked at me. I just connected with me. I just saw me. And that does, take the judgment off of it. And it can also be that you're looking at things and saying, I'm not going to be judging myself anymore. I'm not going to be saying, well, it has to be like this or it has to be like that. That judgmental attitude that I have had is leaving. Because we all think, oh, I'm supposed to be this way. I'm supposed to be that way. No matter who we are, we always critique ourselves. There's always a judgment that's coming. There's a real sense of stepping into our own power and stepping into ourselves. There's also a rejection of other people's judgment, including our own. But there's a real sense of like, I don't need to hear your judgment. Thank you very much. With the King of Cups reversed, we're having a hard time connecting emotionally with ourselves. We don't want to be ruled by our heart, but that's a powerful part of who we are. Accepting that is going to be liberating. It is going to be liberating, even though we feel like it's a pain in the tush right now. There is also a sense of, I want to lead by example, but I'm not sure how. We can also be looking at somebody and saying, I thought you were a certain way, and you're not that way. They're not holding up to our expectations. Be mindful of that. Be mindful of, projecting our wants and our needs onto somebody else who's just human. Don't revere somebody too much. With the devil, and that's anybody, don't revere anybody too much. With the devil reverse, the devil is Capricorn energy, right? So we can have a negative time with a Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. There is a sense of, I'm taking the rules, I'm taking the structure, and I don't want it. I want things to be more freeform. I want, to release. This can also be a little bit dangerous. Be mindful of addictions, drugs, alcohol, sex, food, that type of stuff. But also worry, fear, like our mind just being a little bit too scattered. Now, I'm not saying if you have ADHD or anything like that, that you can control that. But there is the sense here of, I don't want the structure. So I'm going to go to the complete opposite of structure, which is chaos. And that isn't going to solve the problem that I have either. I need to find a middle ground. That's going to be a very powerful thing for us. Okay, that middle ground, which is something that we weren't necessarily looking at before. The wheel of fortune comes. Things are changing. We can feel it. There's a change of seasons coming in, but there's also this real sense of, my fortune is changing. What I had expected or how it's been tough or overwhelming, my fortune is changing. If we're in a really good place, we might be thinking, I don't want my fortune to change. I need it to stay just like this. It doesn't mean that it has to change from easy to hard or hard to easy. It just means that our lives are changing. We are changing. And as this change comes forward, we are empowered. It moves us to the Knight of Pentacles, slowly and steadily moving towards what we want, towards what we desire. Also, earth sign energy for us, it's going to be grounding in a really good way. There's going to be a sense of like, oh yeah, this is what I need. Oh yeah, this is what I'm seeing. So just know that about yourself. You need that kind of like touchstone of stability, of security. The nights, okay. So nights are always young energy. Well, up to, let's say, 45. So, but I see them more as impulsive. So there is the sense here of I'm going to move towards what I want, towards what I need. It's interesting I said 45, right? Because I usually see 35, but this is saying 45. So there's a sense of things changing, things moving, things growing, things gaining an understanding. And just know that here with this energy, there is a sense of I'm still going to be changing. So you might be looking at things. You might be changing careers. You might be, changing ideas about things, changing investment plans. Like if you invest, there is something here where it's like I'm going to grow it, but I'm going to change my mind a million times along the way. So even if you have a tendency to kind of like get bored in one job, move to another job, you're using all your skills. You're going to weave them all together and have something beautifully and powerfully yours. But it's going to be that touchstone. It's going to be that sense of, yeah, but this is what I've been working towards, or this is what I've been wanting, I've been envisioning for myself. And the Wheel of Fortune is showing us things are changing so that I can open up into that power. And it's a slow, steady go. It's not happening so very quickly, but it's that slow, steady, stable, powerful moving forward into ourselves. So, our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the King of Wands. We really do want to get swept away in some sort of fairy tale, and that's lovely. But the King of Wands is somebody who has the passion and the fire and the distinction too. They just don't have the follow through. And that's where we have to be very mindful of things. We can also be having a bit of difficulty with our sacred masculine energy. We have the King of Cups reverse. We have now the King of Wands reverse. And it can just be that, embracing our sacred masculine and saying, this is what I love. This is what I'm taking action towards. This is what I'm passionate about. This is what I'm taking action towards, can be a bit difficult for us during this time. Also be mindful of emotional manipulation and somebody who's super super passionate and super great in some respects, but super toxic, emotionally manipulative, doesn't really show up for us, has a bit of a temper on them. Just be aware of that. Our subconscious message from spirit here is wisdom reverse. We're not necessarily feeling very wise, but isn't there a saying that when you think you're wise, you're not? And when you realize you don't know anything, that is the time you truly start to become wise. So look at wisdom not as something that is collected and put on a shelf, but lived through and hard won and hard earned. And that's going to be very powerful. Our subconscious message from the tarot is the star reversed. The star is Aquarius energy. Okay, so we could be having a bit of difficulty with an Aquarius, but we're also having a bit of difficulty really looking at what we desire, want, need, and what we are deeply longing for, not what we are crossing our fingers for. So that's going to be very important for us. What am I deeply longing for? Because we kind of feel like divinity has forgotten us, or we're not on the right path, or our wishes aren't being heard. And that's not true at all. But subconsciously, it's like, well, why even bother? It's taking this long, or why even bother? I'm just so frustrated. Be kind to yourself. Remember, breathe. It's going to be so easy to get down on yourself. It's also going to be so easy to engage personally in negative talk. That's fine. We all have down days, down weeks, down months, even down years. But this is a time where we look at everything that we've been balancing and we start to say, well, what do I really want? What's really important to me? When we stop judging and we start living, setting ourselves simple tasks to get done, simple ideas, simple desires, simple wants, and saying, well, how can I do that today? Let's do one thing every day that we're proud of. That we're like, wow, that was really cool. It doesn't have to be a big thing. I washed the dog today. I'm immensely proud of that, as me was astoundingly stinky. So, that type of stuff, embrace it. Embrace it and let yourself be proud of you. So you didn't, cure cancer or end world hunger or anything like that. That's okay. Live the best life you can and let that positive energy, let it go into the world, because it really does. It raises us up and it has our lives become richer. And so often we think, well, if it's not, something big, if it's not something that I can put on, social media and everybody will ooh and ah over it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't count. It most definitely counts. And you most definitely matter. All right. All right, Libra. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Libra. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. God bless. Bye.